In nature, we never see anything isolated, but everything in connection, with something else which is before it, beside it, under it, and over it, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe tells us. We are social animals. As much as bees need to be part of a hive, we need to feel we are part of a tribe. The alternative is not good. Social disconnection has a negative impact on health, and feeling disempowered can make a person feel depressed. Creating a workplace culture that fosters belonging, acceptance, trust, health, education, and wealth will not only benefit your organisation, but it will also contribute to a more peaceful, empathetic, and compassionate society. Is the organisation you're in working to create positive change in the workplace so that people feel happier? What can you do at an individual level to help cultivate connection? Everything in the universe only exists because it is in relationship to everything else. Nothing exists in isolation. We have to stop pretending that we are individuals and that we can go it alone. Everything we do is dependent on us building exceptional relationships. They are the centre of our universe, the sun to our planets, a driving force that keeps us all together. If we were to draw a diagram of concentric circles detailing what is most important to us, relationships would sit bang in the middle. Good relationships allow us to make things happen and make the job enjoyable. Good relationships prevent us from being culled by a competitor. To be a really good digital marketing manager, you need to be an expert at building relationships. Good relationships start with you. Being a person who can listen, be open, and be receptive to feedback will lay the foundations for building beautiful bonds with colleagues and customers. At Footprint Digital, we build relationships by supporting each other in a variety of ways. We support each other through the good times and the bad. We're there as a critical friend. We're always thinking about the long term, and we're being supportive every day. We always encourage one another. Clear communication is key, and we're always looking to further develop our own understanding. We have shared goals, and we always are looking to create a safe space. We respect one another, and the following selection of exercises are going to help you do the same. So number 1, figure out what makes for a good relationship. What do you think a good relationship is? Defining it helps you to understand and implement it. So form of all the things you think a good relationship needs to be within your business. Form all of the things you think a good relationship needs to have in your business. Here's some of the things we think good relationships need. Communication. They need trust. They need honesty. They need constructive criticism. Good relationships also need alignment and common visions and goals between your team. It requires equality between everybody in your workspace. And everyone needs an understanding of each other's roles and responsibilities so they don't overstep the mark. Good relationships, of course, are also built on respect. And these are just a few of the things that constitute a good relationship for us. Don't be afraid to alter it to better reflect the values of your own business. Try to make it as extensive as possible. How could you measure how effective you are at each of those things within your organisation? As a business obsessed with figures, data, and analytics, we work to find a way to measure the success of our relationships. This can be complex, or as simple as asking each other for feedback and including feedback surveys at the end of our emails where people can leave a quick review of how we've done. Encourage all feedback to be delivered in the context of open, honest, and fair. Contemplate the trust bucket. Relationships are measured by trust. The more trust there is, the stronger the relationship. Think of a bucket into which all of your actions are poured. You have to work hard to fill the bucket. Beware that even the smallest breakdown can erode trust. Once there is a hole, you have to work doubly hard to maintain the relationship. So work hard to maintain that trust bucket. Create an atmosphere that is open, honest, and fair. The best conversations to have with your team occur when they feel comfortable enough to discuss mistakes openly. Encourage the team to operate under the principles of honest, open, and fair in all of their communication. If you or your team make a mistake in your work, then take the time to think about it, address it, and use it as an opportunity to learn. Then take that lesson forward with you and make sure that the same mistake isn't made again. Ensure that everyone knows it's okay to be wrong, because this allows you to work as a team, fix mistakes together, and grow. If you or your team are not getting things wrong or making any mistakes when working on marketing campaigns, then chances are that you are not growing or testing your limits. To encourage your team to be able to push their boundaries, it is important to foster an environment that is open to experimentation. It tries new things and is supportive of those brave enough to take controlled risks. That's not a free pass for people to be sloppy, but if they do make a mistake in pursuit of trying something new, they should be supported. Social media consultancy Nixon McInnes went one step further and introduced a monthly Church of Fail, where innovation is fostered by celebrating its employees' mistakes in a monthly ritual. Build critical friendships. Genuine friendship cannot exist where one of the parties is unwilling to hear the truth and the other is equally indisposed to speak it. Marcus Tullius Cicero told us that one. Surround yourselves with critical friends and perform the role of a critical friend. The motivation is always to help the other person thrive. A critical friend can be defined as a trusted person who asks provocative questions, provides data to be examined through another lens, and offers critiques of a person's work as a friend. A critical friend is also someone who discreetly lets you know that you have a bit of lunch on your chin rather than letting you sit through an entire meeting unaware. Delegation, not abdication. Robert T. Lupton tells us, when we do for those in need what they can do for themselves, we disempower them. The easy route can lead to loss of power and prevent self-sufficiency. Do not do anything for anyone that they can do for themselves. You are stealing from them when you do. Likewise, a digital marketing manager should work hard to empower people that they delegate work to by briefing well and training them, as well as maintaining responsibility for the end result. Do not relinquish responsibility when delegating. Choose to be a victor, not a victim. The greatest relationships are built on blame, evasion, and denial, said no one ever. Orbed is a communication framework which sets out the choices that we can make, helping us know how to act in a situation. The choice is simple. You can either stay above the line and be a victor, or sink below and be a victim. Accept your responsibilities, take ownership and be accountable for your actions, and you will find your life full of rewarding, healthy relationships. Beware the drama triangle. When relationships within a business start to break down, it can lead to instability and ineffectiveness. This is why it is essential for a digital marketing manager to be aware of the ways a relationship can degrade and be equipped to prevent it from descending into a self-perpetuating spiral of drama as a result. The Karpman drama triangle explains how conflict can escalate, illustrating how people caught in a disagreement assume one of three roles. The first role is persecutor. Usually they're blaming, repressive, and critical. They attack a victim over a problem. The second role is the victim. They feel oppressed, having had their rights trampled. They feel they have lost power and are dependent. And then finally, you have the rescuer, a third party, usually someone who tries to fix problems and who may be an enabler for the victim. These roles are not static though. As the rescuer saves the victim, they may start to attack the persecutor, therefore turning them into the victim. Over time, this can escalate and turn into a vicious cycle from which it is impossible to escape. When you recognize these behaviors in yourself, then take a moment to reflect. Be aware it is a pattern and adopt a neutral position. It is harder to take on a wider team on this journey with you, but if you can model a better way of behaving, it will have a positive impact on the culture. The Authenticity T-shirt. There is massive value in being able to bring your whole self to work. Nick Luby, author of Modern Zombies, How to Stay Ahead of the Horde and Communicate Your Way to Incredible Success, advocates that you create a space within which your team can be their authentic selves. Working within the Footprint Digital team, we undertook an exercise called the Authenticity T-shirt. Trust, rapport, and strong relationships come from authentic interactions. But who are you really? The activity invites you to ask yourself, who are you really? And also question whether this authentic self is the one who communicates at work. If you wore a t-shirt that represented who you are, what would it say? The activity invites you to write down yours and share it with your colleagues. Your authenticity t-shirt is a reflection of who you genuinely are. If your colleagues wore one, what would their t-shirt say? Be the real you and allow everyone in the team to be true to themselves, and your team relationships will strengthen. Sum yourself up in 3 words. Would your friends be able to recognize you by your t-shirt alone? Give it a go. Taking life's journey together. Personal goal setting. It is rare that we take the time to consciously reflect on our own lives. Invite your team to score out of 10 their level of satisfaction against the following criteria: health, wealth, friends and family, giving and learning, and lastly, adventure. This is all for the individual to keep to themselves and is not something that needs to be shared. Then invite them to make a list of 3 things they are going to do about it. How do you like to receive praise? Cherie Harley, author of How to Say Anything to Anyone, a guide to building business relationships that really work, shares a funny story about the impact of how to deliver praise. A popular cleaning lady at a huge international organisation has been working for the organisation for 25 years. Everyone loved her and were hugely appreciative of her work. As it was her 25th year anniversary, the management decided to honour her at the huge glitzy company annual awards ceremony. With thousands of people in attendance, they brought her up on stage to give her an award. She was so overwhelmed by the experience that she needed to take the next 2 weeks off work with anxiety. It transpired she would have been much happier with a bunch of flowers and a well done from her boss. Do you know how everyone on your team likes to receive praise? Well, make it your job to find out and use this information to make people feel special in the way that suits them.